This is a live. We like a live play. Story goes on and on. Okay. Mistakes can cock you out of your dream, but they're part of life. So don't take those little shits too serious. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, like, I'm just saying milestones be broken, like, cause like I just give you like a timeline perspective. I graduated high school, Facebook comes out. Now look at Facebook. That was 2004. It's 2024. That was 20 years ago. 21 years ago, we could say. Okay. So since that time, live streaming, because I've been a fan of live streaming for so long, but I feel like I set my path on dentistry before live streaming came out. Like, if I was in high school, of course I'm gonna be a streamer. Like, what? Yeah. But you know, forever young, that's the mindset we have to have. Don't get caught up in feeling like you too old to do nothing, life going too fast. Slow this shit down. Get out of the matrix. Get out of the timeline. Slow it down. Learn who you are. Read. You know. But back to what I'm talking about with, like, thinking outside of the box and how history lied and it has you thinking inside of the box. People always say think outside of the box, but think outside of the box. Don't think inside of the box. How can you tell if you're thinking inside of the box? Most people would ask, well, damn, Dr. Sean, I want to think outside of the box. Even myself, I want to think outside of the box. And I'm slowly realizing as I get wiser, as I get older and younger, because, you know, forever young, but you know what I'm saying, as you mature with emotional intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, spirituality, truth, embodies all of that, you know, and respect for yourself and who you are and your ancestors. It can go on and on for your bloodline, you know, all of that type of stuff, your royalty, your elegance, just your heritage, your neediness, your American Indianness. If that's you, because that's who I'm targeting. People who have been mishandled, misled, confused, or even just got closed ears to this, because I know how sensitive it can be to learn new shit outside of what you know. That's why I'm so happy the Spirit led me to Florida State University, home of the Seminoles. And if you know, this is also identity theft, but we ain't going there. But that's my graduate school. But at this place, this institution, I was able to study some of the deep topics, prolonging from being in the international baccalaureate program at James S. Rickards High School in Tallahassee, Florida. That's why I said I graduated from there with my IB certificate or whatever in '04, the same year Facebook came out. So this is college life, like, and I'm from the hood, y'all. Like, when I say I'm from hood to hood, I really mean that shit. It's just people look at you different when you have those letters behind your name, and as they should. But some of them don't look at you positive. They look at you like you ain't really working hard to get this shit, and that's actually the total opposite. But you know, just going through Florida State, taking courses like such as the religion course, such as anthropology was one of my favorite courses. Like, you would think, damn, you a dentist, but anthropology, I truly, truly enjoyed these courses. These are courses I got easy A's in because it was fun. The science courses, organic chemistry, wouldn't wish it on my worst fucking enemy. Some people get A's in that course, but for me, that course really had me like studying so hard, and even though I was studying hard, I had no idea that I wasn't studying hard enough for dental school. Because dental school is another type of study. It's more like your brain is being hijacked by knowledge, but only of teeth, if that makes sense. But just coming back to the topic, how they lie and it has us out of whack, and we're just not thinking on the right timeline. I'm just trying to give y'all perspective of the timeline right now, so I could just really bring what I'm trying to say home. But I'm gonna take my time with it. I'm gonna really take my time with it. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take my time with it. So basically, okay, fast forward. I graduate high school, go to Florida State. I'm taking all these courses. They're very enlightening. They have a lot to do with what I'm talking about right now. um, and get from Florida State, going through life. Life is life, and of course, during all this time, get into Meharry. That's a whole story for another day, which wasn't easy at all. Get there, get to graduation. By this time, 2014, 2015, streaming is now a thing. It hits Periscope first, which is like one of the first streaming platforms that doesn't exist anymore. Only a few people would know what I'm talking about. But I'm one of the first ones to really hop on too, and stream and have audience, and have followers and be streaming at my graduation. It just like was a thing. I love Periscope. I still don't think no other platform does what Periscope did, because they had it where you could like somebody could come in like right now and invite. I guess Twitch kind of has that when you can they call it, I forgot what they call it on here. Hype? No, is it hype train? Something like that, where you can invite people in, or I don't know what it's called. I still gotta learn my Twitch lingo, but even on YouTube they have a hype button now where you can hype it up. So hype me up, hey, hype me up, hey, hype me up, hey, hype me up, hey. But anywho, so yeah, just going through experiencing the first live and then seeing how it has grown now is really intriguing to me. So that's why I keep with the consistency project and keep trying to make this thing like grow audience and build my community, because I know how fun it can be. I know how you can get knowledge and give knowledge across the oceans, and just grow and meet people. That's the real purpose. But the passion behind it is also to include the history now, the dentistry. I never thought that I would be so into history as much as I am now, but learning who I am, I have to be, because I was taught wrong. I was lied to about who I am over here on Turtle Island, aka the United States. And it's just very like baffling. And even now, with history being history, there are still people who want to deny it and live on old ways and governments and standards and pain and evil and torture and horror and all these things, and pretend like nothing ever happened. And it's just like, it's all giving very delulu. You know what I mean? From an inquisitive perspective, we speaking. But just from seeing streaming how it is and how it's grown, it's good, because you can get the knowledge out there. You can get your voice heard. You can learn. You can grow at a much faster pace, especially when you build a community. So my thing now, I did the hooded thing. I did, from poverty to becoming a dentist and doing the entrepreneurship thing, which is really really hard for me. The entrepreneur thing, I struggle with entrepreneurship. Even though I have a business minor from Florida State, I feel like that's not enough. You really need real experience and connections and network and delegation and systems and a lot of things that I know that I need that I'm still in the process of building, but it's super duper hard. Like, I don't think people understand it. That's why most people wouldn't be an entrepreneur, because a lot has to be put into it. It's not like you wake up, go to work, go home. You wake up, go to work, and then you stay at work because you got to handle the business part of it. Like, you know what I mean? And then you have to learn how to set your business up in a way where you're making money in your sleep versus can't get no sleep because you think about work all the time. Okay, but that's a story for another day. Now, my next point that I want to make on my streaming journey with this consistency challenge is that we are really working on imperfect consistency. Like I said, I gotta just show up, like, just be the spirit, you know. It's not always about the visual, and I get that it is, but you know, I'm not always in the mood to just be on camera. Like, I'm very camera friendly, not camera shy at all, but sometimes I just wake up and like, I don't go live because I don't want to be on camera, or I don't want to, I don't know, and that could be just me being lazy too. And I'm gonna do better, but yeah. But back to what I'm talking about, because I keep getting off task with this. It's so funny, and that's the crazy thing about being live, is that you kind of gotta talk. Well, really, there are no rules. Let's not even put no rules. Do what the fuck you want to do. Just do it. You know. We getting out of the box, right? Not inside of the box. And this is a primary example of getting outside of the box and not just being into what you was taught and what people have told you, and not being afraid to grow. And what is growing? Is it just learning what people told you, or is it you going and reading it for yourself? That's why I say the real knowledge starts, especially for people over here in Turtle Island who are labeled as Black, African American, and all these misnomers, we will call them. You gotta go read his story, not your story, his story, and you'll see how they labeled you in their story. Because think about it, we write about the fish. Have we ever been a fish? We don't know how the fuck it feels to be in the ocean all damn day. You get what I'm saying? So we telling the fish story. The fish is like, that ain't my damn story. I don't know what y'all talking. We can study fish, learn about them, make them up in the movies and stuff, pretend to be a fish, but you can't be a fish, you know? You just can't do it. It's a whole nother level that you can't understand. So when another person come and try to tell somebody who they are, forbid them from learning about ancestry, and I feel like ancestry should be like required to be breathing. You should know your ancestry, so that way nobody can tell you who you are. More than you know your supervisor, more than you know the president, you need to do your genealogy and try to tap into your ancestry, because that's what really locks it in for you and for me, to just strive higher regardless of what ups and downs you go through, because you're going to go through things. You lose people. It's life. It's a circle of life. People come, people go. Babies are born, people leave. But we have a hard time letting go when that time comes, because you build these bonds. You love people. They're part of your spirit. They're part of your connection. But they live on. That's why genealogy is important. Go back and study your ancestors. Not your ancestors given to you in Webster and Pilgrim House and all these publishers who actually intentionally put out pseudo history, even as early as tomorrow when kids go to school, they're probably taking a history test about pseudo history. But the parents have been through the same schooling system by now, so it's a generational curse. Nobody's waking up. Nobody understands. Nobody really gets what the fuck the trick is. Even me, I went through the same system of not the fuck understanding the system. Excuse my French, but I'm just so pissed about it. And you don't even need to be pissed about it. Why am I pissed about it? That's woosah. But it take you there. When you think about history, it can make you cry if you even have a heart in your body. But you know, some people heartless. Some people are heartless as, and I tune out the cursing only because, you know, sometimes my nieces and nephews find these videos and I already know they be cursing and shit in school and stuff. But I don't want to just, you know, so it might slip sometimes, but damn it just pisses me off. History, that is. Reading Christopher Columbus' journal pissed me off, man. That's why that's the first level for me. So if I were trying to grow my audience full of truth tellers, full of people who have knowledge and truth and wisdom versus pseudo history, I would just encourage that being one of the first points in your journey of, well, damn, Dr. Sean, you know, I hear you. I'm not from any other continent. All my ancestors, all my people are from Turtle Island, America. I'm a little lost because I love church. I'm just a little confused. It seems like you might be just, what my auntie said, brainwashed. But actually, that's why I said think outside of the box. Because no, how can you be brainwashed when you're reading history about the same people y'all call presidents and that you passed around their faces in church when you pass around that collection plate? It's those presidents who I'm reading about now who had this evil ideology, but some kind of way they're connected to spirituality. Can't be. Ain't no way Christopher Columbus ass connected to no kind of spirituality, but he was the one passing out the Bible. That's going real deep. We ain't gonna go that deep, but those are the questions that I ask when I'm reading his journal, when I'm actually doing my genealogy and connecting to my ancestors and seeing that, dang, my great-great-grandparents been on Turtle Island for a long time. Why did y'all lie to me and have me thinking that I'm from some whole other place, that I was less than who I am, that the color of my skin was so ugly, had no purpose, that melanin was so bad. Oh, it's so bad. When I'm learning that this is a defense system against the sun, but I'm learning that this is like a magical, what do we call it? It's a magical, I want to say the right word. It's some type of magical, sacred, chemical compound, we're going to say, that can't be the nature and figure out. Even though they study it, they can't recreate it unless you give birth to it. You know what I mean? And they go real deep. Probably so deep that some people won't catch that. So that's the history. That's why I say I was lied to. A lot of people was lied to. So some people feel like, well, dang, I don't really understand how to tap out of this pseudo life. Because, you know, they teach it. They're going to be testing it tomorrow. You know, who discovered America? Christopher Columbus. And we all know by now that's not true. But they're going to tell you that in school. It's just so, it's just sad. Like, that's why I be heartbroken a lot of times about history. And even on my streaming journey now, like from graduating, being live at graduation, to becoming a dentist, and just seeing how it has grown, and now it being a platform for us to not only just have fun, but also to sometimes have those true, real, deep conversations that people are afraid to have. Unapologetically, of course. So I just want us to, especially myself, in my community, to build a community of truth tellers, a community of knowledge seekers, a community of passionate and purpose-filled people, a community of inspired souls that are not afraid to open their ears, open their eyes, open their mouth, because they hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. True. But sometimes you got to dig deep into the evil that people have done, understand who you are, and it's going to break your heart, of course, but it's also going to heal your brain and your mental health when you know who you are. And it goes so deep, y'all. I ain't even mean to get this deep this morning, honestly. But I'm going to take my time with it, because somebody need to hear this. Somebody that's like on the fence, confused. I've been there, but I had to read, and I can't read for you. You can get on this thing all day, listen to 1 billion people, you're still going to be lost. You have to read and dig and use the AI tools you have, man. This AI, they want you to be afraid of AI, artificial intelligence, Chat GPT. That's for beginners. I'm learning about some new ones now, like Perplexity, which they saying replacing Google now. And there's another one. I have to get a list of it and maybe do an AI stream, but I need to dig deeper into them. But I'm an avid user of ChatGPT because it cut down hiring a lot of people. It can do so many tasks for you. And in the streaming game, it just can help you elevate. But, it's just so much you could do with that. But going back to, how they lied. Christopher Columbus, the evilness. If I was to tell my audience, hey guys, y'all gotta start there. But the ultimate number one place you have to start is doing your genealogy. This coming from the chiefess now. Coming from the chiefess now. Do your genealogy. You might say, well, what is the genealogy, Dr. Sean? How the hell do I do that? Somebody made a comment. Thank you for following. Can't see the name. Let me see. Thank you for following KMGG SDF. Yeah, so just coming from that standpoint of being lied to and having this awakening, and now there's a big fight, for social media to control algorithms and to colonize the apps, as I call it, so that truth still doesn't get out. But it don't really work that way because people can read, I know they said back in the day, don't read, don't write, all these little stuff, but you can't prevent people who kind of invented reading and writing in many forms from reading and writing. Like, we are inventors. Like, what are you talking about? We're leaders. We're engineers. We're lawyers. We're mathematicians, scientists, astronauts. We what are you talking about? We invent toilets and light bulbs and trains and all kind of food. And what are you talking about? Not reading and writing? What? You know what, guys? Creativity cannot really... creativity comes from the mind, right? But how do most people get their creativity out? By writing. Okay? Not by strolling, but by writing. And how do they start creativity? A lot of times by reading. So it's baffling to think that people wanted a certain people who they had, stolen land from and unalived and tortured and still do a lot these days, but in other type of uniforms, legally, with a cruiser car. They do that legally. It's to think that they didn't want you to read and write. Like, what? What are you talking about? I'm gonna read and I'm gonna write. Okay, I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna read, I'm gonna write, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna speak. Cause who to try to do stuff like that? It doesn't make any sense. But this is the type of history that we dealing with. This is the type of leaders who ancestors thought in these manners. This is the type of thing still going on to this day. It's baffling. Like, many times I was trying to stay out of the conversation, but I had to jump in and really be a chiefess for my community and my people. And just let people know, yeah, it's a whole nother truth out here. Yeah. You're coming from a doctor's standpoint, from a chief's standpoint, and from a sunflower. All these things mean different things. Because from a doctor's standpoint, when I started reading all this, the journals and all of the things that I'm finding, and I'm still learning and, from the chief, and just doing my own research as well about and I already have all the background on science and biology and biochem and histology and history. Like I said, I took so many different courses in order to become a dentist, aka a doctor, a professional. I took so many courses. So when I see things and I'm studying, melanin, and I'm reading it, listening to it I'm like, well, damn, they never tell me this in school. I'm just being real. Like, damn, they ain't never teach about melanin. But this shit is so powerful. If the skin is the largest organ, right? Damn, why they never tell me that melanin was a defense system against the sun, against the UV rays? And UV rays are things that can go pierce your skin, right? Go into your cell. You learn about cells in biology. You learn about the nucleus, the mitochondria, all of the different things, the ribosomes. You learn about all of these, the nucleic acids, the DNA. You learn about these things, so you like, damn, the UV light damage the DNA, which causes cancer. But I have something called melanin that prevent that. I ain't never learned that in school. I'm thinking about it from a science standpoint, the doctoral route, right? Now that I have that behind my belt, now I'm learning it from a history route. Why would they not teach? Oh, because they want me to hate myself. They don't want me to love myself. It's fucking sad, man. To grow up and be this young girl wanting to be a doctor. And this could be, a lot of people feel like this about any path you're taking that probably have went through things like this. But wanting to be a doctor, having an interview at the University of Florida, they probably remember me crying too. I don't know if they still there, Dr. Spinetti, but she remember this. But this is the reason why. She probably would never know this, but she kind of saved my doctoral career by calling me after that, making a special call to me and saying, damn, I don't want you to give up. I don't know what it is that made you cry like that, but we want you here. You cried, so you ain't ready yet, but hey, go get a master's and come back. She told me that. Called me after my crying interview, where that was the only interview I got, was at the University of Florida in Gainesville. And I really wanted to go to that school. I wanted to go to any school really that would take me, being from poverty and having my background, but I wasn't ready then. I cried. I walked in there, I saw 2 white people. And because I didn't love my skin and myself at this point, I don't see a lot of me in this interview process. It's just probably just me, in this session. It's just mostly Caucasian people or Asian, not me. Nobody looks like me. The people, and that got so intimidating because I didn't know my history. I had been raised in a traumatized environment set up through generational curses, and people don't understand what the government did and started all the way back then, the Pauper Fund and the Black Codes and all these things. It go deep, and I connected to where I am now and the experiences that I had and how it made me feel at the time. And it didn't make me feel good to be black, as they call it. But I didn't know that I wasn't black, that I was American Indian, aka Niji, aka Mississippian mound builders. And, what? But back then, I felt so defeated just opening the door, having to sit in front of two white people and interview. I felt so uncomfortable. I just felt defeated. Like, I can't explain how it made me feel. Like, but it was because I was lied to. So from that experience, having her call me back though to let me know, damn, I don't know what it was. She didn't know that's what it was. But we see potential in you, boy. And I asked her at that moment, damn, do you think that I need to take the dental admissions test over again? This is the test you take to get into dental school. You have to take it. It's required. By now, it's probably changed. I know they just changed it, so it's different now. But you got to take a test to get into dental school. That ain't the only thing you got to do. It's really like a whole process you must do. Like a whole bunch of prerequisites and tests and volunteering and essay. It's like a set list, but passing this test is required. And if you can't pass, you can't get in, regardless if you got all the other things, regardless if you got all A's, regardless if you got a 4.5, you have to take this standardized test to get in. And I said, do you think I need to take this test over? She said, no, your test scores are good. I'm like, ooh, because I was thinking, dang, I got to take my test over. She said, don't do that. Just go back to, get some more credit, go get master's level courses and get ready to apply again, basically. So I did that, hopped on that. But in that moment, I realized back then, oh, dang, I didn't love myself. So not only am I unlocking this code with the doctoral science base, but now with the history, because it helps me go back and say, oh, that's why I felt like that back then. Because I wasn't taught about melanin in school. I was actually taught that melanin was fucking bad. Not in the way that it said melanin, but they call melanin basically over here black people. If you dark skinned, basically melanated, you're bad. And I didn't feel like I was bad. I felt smart, I felt intelligent, but when I got around people who thought that it was bad, it made me feel bad. That's a generational curse, but I don't feel that way no more. I love my fucking self. I love my skin. I love melanin. I love being in the sun. I love connecting just like a fucking plant, like a tree. Like chlorophyll, you see, that's that biology. That's that plant biology peeking through. That chlorophyll that connect with the sun, that help the trees and the plants grow to deliver oxygen to this planet. Melanin tap into something like that, but it's still something that can't be really studied too deeply. It's that magical, that powerful, that protective, that defensive, and it's on your body. How can this be bad? But that's why I say they lie. A lot of things are a lie. So when you get to nowadays, when you think about getting outside of the box versus staying inside of a box and thinking, oh my God, somebody told me this melanin is bad. It's the only thing that I can believe. Versus now, for me, getting wiser, getting out of the matrix, not just studying what they're telling me about myself, but saying, you know what? I'm going to go and do my genealogy and see who the hell my ancestors were. And when I did that, because I'm thinking, dang, if I'm learning and hearing all these things about I'm from here, from Turtle Island, I'm not from Africa, like, because I was in love with being from Africa. I ain't gonna even hold you, like, I was really in love, like, I would rock my little African earrings, like, try to connect to the music, like, oh, I'm gonna do an African wedding, like, I thought I was fucking African, y'all. I thought I was African, and I was a big Christian. I'm just being real, like, I'm just being real. Can we be real or not? Need you up, boy. Into the Bible, like, just trying to, I'm a Jesus quoter, like, I'm deep into religion. I'm raised in this, like, my whole family deep into this, we'll say is this. You know what I mean? And just to start, with the college courses, then going to Meharry, having the experience of doing a live and now, just seeing how things have grown and connection that people have across the world and knowledge is transferring at such a rapid pace. Like if you miss it in this age, you're gonna really miss it. You gotta wake the hell up, man, and get the true history, true knowledge. It can save your life. That's why it's the doctor. We just talked about that. Getting the knowledge from a scientific, the science, the chemistry, all these things tie together. I didn't recognize it back then, but it tied together to me now. And it definitely enhances my ability to be a historian about who I am and connected to my tribe, connected to my DNA, to my science, and for a lot of other people. What we're hearing about who we are is true. Coming from the Dr. Chief the Sunflower. Okay, the chiefest part is the part that gives me the task, the duty to not be afraid to share the truth with you guys and not be afraid to build my community of the right people who understand, who need to hear this potion, we're gonna call it, because it's a potion for your brain, boy. And we're gonna take our time with it. I know y'all can't see me and it suck, but potion for your brain. And before my mom passed, she would say things like the black of the berry, the sweet of the juice, black is beautiful, all of these different things and mantras that help me love my melanin, you know. And that was that mom. So I got the Dr. Chief of Sunflower, and I had my mom who also told me, you know, these things. But she left me at 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. So I didn't really have that to be with me forever. I mean, it is in my spirit forever, but you have a lot of trauma after that happens. So, you know. But on this journey of getting outside of the box, thinking outside of the box, being creative, you gotta have every route. The doctor route, the chief's route. The chief's route is just community, man. Telling people, not being afraid. Standing in the paint with just one person. Standing in the paint unapologetically, you know. And doing things out of the norm, because what? Oh, that was a good stretch. I'm just spending time with my community, man, because, yeah, the girl be slacking. So, yeah, I'm taking my time with it. You know, I'm trying to be a streamer, so me also learning how to just relax and not rush and just take my time in the spirit, you know. Cause life is but a dream. Things aren't what they seem. Cause life is but a dream. Sometimes it may rain. Sometimes the sun shines. Cause life is but a dream. Make your wish at night. Get rid of all the fright. 'Cause life is but a dream. Life is but a dream, guys. I should record that song. Yeah, man, so be creative. Don't stand still. You are a evolving spiritual being. You know? Don't be afraid to test out the norm and do things that's out of the ordinary and live your best life. Okay? Cause life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. Okay, I got all the way off topic, but life is but a dream. So yeah, man. Don't get caught up in no lies. Don't get caught up in all this. You know, don't get caught up. Because it's meant to get you caught up out here. We're making some soul food today. I think we're going to make some salmon bites, but in the shape of pork chops. With crunchy salmon, crispy fried salmon with mac and cheese. I think I want some crab mac and cheese, so I might buy some crab to put in it. With either cabbage or collard greens. I think cabbage would be better. It's a little bit easier. And let me see, cabbage, mac and cheese, salmon, maybe some cornbread, and maybe yams, candy yams, or what's another good side dish? Candy yams, or I would say baked beans, but I feel like that's more cookout-ish. And maybe some candy yams. That might be good. I should make a sweet potato pie, boy. I don't think it's a good idea to go live without my face, but whatever. Whatever. Whatever, guys. So yeah, that's what I'm getting ready to do. Probably go to the grocery store. I need to go to the gym. What else today? I got a lot of work to do. I can't even hold you. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. Work be stressing me out. Being a dentalpreneur is very stressful, but you know, that's why you gotta diversify your income for real. You can't just be relying on one thing. Like, I love dentistry, but I have a lot to grow and learn with the business of it. That's why I can see some people like, you know what, when it comes to the business part, it's like, you really gotta lock in, boy. So that's why, from a history standpoint, all levels, the doctor level, the chiefest level, just standing on business about that, building a community. It can't get hard, like with the streaming and me having this career. But I can't really have no excuse. That's why, like, now, I won't turn the camera around. Because if I do, it's like, oh, I'm going to feel like I got to, you know, show up on point or not at all. But then, it's like, is that really vital? When there's AI actually making stuff and people on live sleep, but That's why you can't even have no rules. You just gotta do you, guys. But whatever you do, just be consistent. And that's the trick of the consistency challenges. How will you, what will your consistency look like? Even when it comes to knowledge, like for me, learning about history and how they lie, it's an everyday journey. It's just so much knowledge that you can't learn it all in a day. You got to take your time with it, but also know that you only live once. Time is precious. You got to balance. So now that I know that history lied to me, I really am on point when it comes to what I learned, the things that I interact with, and just protecting my energy too. Because I have to remind, certain people, hey, you can't get to tell me about your knowledge if you don't want me to tell you about mine. Because I know what you learned, and it don't really go back far enough for me. You gotta go back far enough with the knowledge. Even to go forward, you gotta go back. Sometimes. I'm talking about with knowledge, not with nothing else. So that's the cheapest part of the Dr. Chief the Sunflower, and just connecting to my audience. And the sunflower part is because sunflower is one of the most durable, beautiful plants. It grows tall and strong, and it's bright. It connects with one of the most powerful things known to people, humans, Niji, the sun. Where I'm from, Tallahassee, the Appalachian Indians, we're the sunshine people. We really connect with the sun, which is why our melanin is very deep and rich and chocolate in a lot of ways. It's different tones. Some of it's caramel. Like, it just come in all shapes, forms, sizes. It's like a brick building. Like, the bricks aren't all the same color. They're all different colors. Like with the old-fashioned brick buildings. You know what I mean? So I just want to promote loving yourself, especially in a society that tells you that, you know what, don't love yourself, we hate you. We don't think you're cute at all. We don't think you really are. Like, what? Who told you that you could tell me anything about me first?